Happy Tuesday! Welcome to the Prep Queen Pod. I am back in my home studio. It is so great. Hopefully Marley stays asleep the whole show. I hope you all had a great holiday weekend. I hope a lot of your first college football Saturdays, like real week one style, was better than my friends. You guys know that I'm not like the biggest college football bettor. I watched a lot of it, but I texted all my friends, hey, how'd you guys do? How was the weekend? And they all looked at me and texted me like, F you, F off, I hate you, I hate football. I was like, okay, so football's back. Everyone's angry and hates life and wants to jump off a bridge already. I hope the rest of you had a much better result for your weekend. I actually meant to send myself a link to something. Where is it? I saw a very interesting tweet, which a lot of you probably saw already since you guys are all social media people. I'm going to screenshot this tweet from John Ewing of BetMGM because obviously the biggest story of yesterday and today, head coach of UNC, Bill Belichick, and how they got absolutely destroyed by TCU. So I found this stat to be very interesting. Bill Belichick now 44% without Tom Brady. Not great. Not great. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, listen, I don't even think Belichick thought that this season, like week one, was going to go strong. I was shocked at how well they came out the gates scoring on the first drive. But you kind of knew when you've got 70 new players joining a team, it's going to take time. It's going to take a few weeks. TCU is definitely the better team. UNC is a brand new team, and it's a new head coach who is going back to the college football level after just being an NFL coach for so many years. Listen, you see how different things could be. You saw how Nick Saban didn't succeed at the NFL level. Urban Meyer didn't succeed at the NFL level, but they succeeded in college. Is that the case with Bill Belichick? I know that the narrative is that without Tom Brady, he has sucked. You can't say that he's been handed like the easiest, he wasn't given like the easiest task. I mean, you had to do a quarterback change after a dynasty with not the greatest weapons, and then you have to go to the ACC and you literally have to have Gio Lopez as your quarterback. Today also just like was my first, oh my gosh, it's NFL season moment. A lot of really fun things in the works, and I know I keep saying this, but there's like a lot of like new things I'm doing, new ventures, new things coming to the Prop Queen Pod. So a lot of new, and today was like the day after Labor Day. I got asked to do like 3 separate phone calls at like 1:00. They're like, hey, can you get a call? I'm like, okay, I'll squeeze this in. So many meetings, so many calls, so many people waiting till the last minute, gearing up for football season. You know that everybody was away for Labor Day. Oh, deep breath. We've got NFL futures to discuss. A lot in the NFL world. NFL starts in 2 days. Later on in the show, we are going to be joined by Coach James Young because now that the NFL season is upon us, I am done with the WNBA. Sorry, hate to break it to you. I'm done. No more WNBA for me. Coach is going to do all the WNBA from this point forward. I could do 2 sports at a time. I know myself. If I start doing 3, now maybe on some non-NFL days, if I don't have much going on like a Tuesday, I'll consider doing WNBA. But for right now, MLB, NFL, that's my bread and butter. It's my favorite thing to do. I'm uploading some graphics now so that we could get some things going for this show. Coach's picks. Stop. Coach is going to give you guys picks for the WNBA. Don't get upset, Shawn Michael. Who cares? It'll be fine. You'll survive. Okay. A lot stands out in the NFL, and I am very curious also. Gosh. Now my DMs are blowing up. I was trying to get more guests on the show today. Couldn't seem to get anybody on the show except for Coach. So no guests today. We're going to have some guests tomorrow. Today was a rough one. Let me see. So I have some fishy lines potentially. We could go through the NFL card. So I snapshotted these fishy lines for NFL a week ago. You want Kelly on the show? I can ask Kelly to come on the show. Okay. So I snapshotted some of these lines last week in the NFL. So I'm curious to see what lines could have moved. I didn't snapshot them like weeks ago because so much could change in a preseason. But now that we're a week away, like now that we're less than a week away, but last week when we were a week away, it's when the public starts to roll in. So I wanted to see from last week to this week where the public might have started to roll in. And I don't want to confuse you guys, but I will do a share the screen of NFL lines. We'll do some early NFL looks right now, go into Major League Baseball, and then we'll get to coach for WNBA. We'll see how much time we could kill in the next 20 minutes before coach comes on. Share screen. Share screen. Share screen. We're going to use FanDuel odds today because I just feel like FanDuel is like one of the most that and DraftKings are the most public books for sure. So obviously we've got Thursday night football. Oh, actually, let me do this. Obviously, I paid for this. Fishy lines. Fishy lines. Cowboys, Eagles. So last week that line I snapshotted at 7.5, and as you could see, that line is now 8.5. Let me zoom in a bit more. You see that? I just want you. Ooh, goodness, what did I do? That's really zoomed in. Okay, so I think you guys could see that. I'll try one more zoom. Okay, that's a little bit better. So yeah, the line steam's already on the Eagles, -7.5 last week to -8.5 this week. Of course, that game's on Thursday, by the way, for anyone that's living under a rock. Kansas City Chiefs, Los Angeles Chargers. I saw that at 3. That line didn't move. Giants Commanders. It was 6.5 last week, still 6.5 this week. Total 45.5, still there. Carolina Jacksonville. Last week, that line was 3. Now it's 3.5. Guys, I'm thinking the Jags are going to have a better year this year. Like, I know that's like a bold statement to kind of make, but I'm kind of high on the Jags. It's really a Trevor Lawrence prove all this year because, like, you got to get rid of him if you can't be a playoff contender. And it's the Panthers. And I almost feel disrespectful to the Jaguars. I mean, the Panthers have young talent, but they're too young, especially in week 1. So Jaguars, who have now a bunch of experienced players on that roster, I would be leaning to Jacksonville there. I agree with the steam of -3 to -3.5. It's not much of a move. I'm not like going to overreact to anything, but I am just saying that I do think Jacksonville has a better chance here. You've got Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter making his debut, Travis Etienne, and you're getting a Panthers defense that was terrible last year against the run. So Etienne should have a good game. That's a prop I'm going to be looking at for sure, is Travis Etienne coming up against the Panthers this coming weekend. Let's keep going. FanDuel. Pittsburgh and Jets. The Jets were 3-point dogs. Now Steelers. So Steelers line moved in their favor, but no chance in hell can I bet on Aaron Rodgers in his first game. Total went up by 1, 2, 37.5 to 38.5. But again, a half a point move in favor of Pittsburgh. Raiders, Patriots, that line stayed 2.5. Total went up by 1 from 42.5 to 43.5. Arizona and New Orleans, that one was 5.5 last week, Arizona, and now it's 6.5. Full point move in favor of the Cardinals against the Saints, who, gosh, that quarterback situation is terrible. Bengals, Browns, Bengals, it stayed 5.5, total 47.5, so that stayed the same. Miami, Indianapolis, so 1.5, 46.5 total. Decent teaser spot at a +1.5 for Miami. I don't trust the Colts. The bets, oh God, Shawn Michaels still. No. Still debating on the best bet of the week. Hold on. We're going through this together. Tampa and Atlanta, -1.5 last week, -2.5 Tampa. I would tease Atlanta. I like that. +2.5, tease Atlanta in the opener. I'm not high on the Bucks. Like, Baker Mayfield, is he going to turn into a pumpkin at some point? Their defense also took a lot of steps back last year. Divisional game, Atlanta, Michael Penix Jr., another year. I like his receiving core. I like that they're a versatile offense with Robinson. I would tease Atlanta. I think that's a great teaser spot for Atlanta +2.5. If anything, guys, if you want to bet early to Sunday, like, get teasers in right now because you know you're going to miss those teaser legs in the next couple of days. I like Atlanta +2.5 in a divisional game at home. Absolutely. I think it's a great teaser spot. Tennessee and Denver, that one stayed 7.5. Total went up from 41.5 to 42.5. San Francisco and Seattle, you got the Niners still at -2.5. Total went up. Oh, sorry. Total went down 44.5 to 43.5. Shawn Michaels, Detroit Lions, +2.5 against Packers. Maybe you can tease Detroit and Atlanta, even though Detroit's probably a public side. Catching points, Detroit's probably public. I know that Shawn Michaels going to like it, but it's probably a public side. Possibility. It's a possibility. Houston and the Rams, that line went from Rams -2.5 to -3. I assume that has something to do with Stafford. Bills, Ravens, you've got the Ravens +1.5 on the road. 52.5 total is, total dropped by 2. Total was 52.5 last week. It dropped to 50.5. Sure, it's going to be a little chilly in Buffalo. It's been kind of chilly here. But Baltimore teaser, not bad. Guys, I know it's like a so homer of me, but I can't see the Ravens like not keeping this within 7. That would be, if the Ravens can't keep this within 7, just shoot me. Don't do that. We just saw what happened in Chicago over the weekend. Don't shoot me. We're trying to bring peace. Yeah, so if I have to say, I'd say right now, my favorite teaser legs would be Atlanta and the Ravens. Those are my favorite teaser legs, probably. I would probably put that teaser in, Atlanta and the Ravens. And then I think I like Jacksonville a lot this week. I think that we're underrated. I think they're underrated, and I think ETN can run all over the Panthers defense. And a lot of people who I trust are very high on the Giants. Very high on the Giants. So definitely, and honestly, the Chargers aren't a bad teaser leg either. But the problem with the Chargers is they always give you one great game against Kansas City and one terrible game against Kansas City. So just tease both the games with the Chiefs and the Chargers, and you'll likely hit one of them. You know that the Chargers always have a chance to upset the Chiefs. Justin Herbert has had the Chiefs number. But, yeah, I'm still waiting. Friday, I think we'll have a better idea of better fishy lines. But I think my favorite teaser, I think the Chargers teaser leg's like a little too obvious for me. But I think that they're like, scares me a bit. But the Chargers could be a good teaser. And the Ravens and the Falcons. I think the Falcons are the best underrated teaser, and I would be shocked if people didn't tease the Ravens more. But yes, I called that one last year. It was probably one of the best calls I've ever had. Upsets will happen. Shawn Michael, I do agree with you on Derrick Henry. I will talk to you guys about some of the props that I like on the season. But like my point here is it's a divisional game, and most of the time divisional games get split. And I'm not high on Tampa. I'm switching between drinks. I got a coffee. I got a water. I shouldn't drink coffee past 5, but here we are. I just think that when talking about this game against Detroit and Green Bay, I just think that the Lions catching points in Green Bay, like the book's not stupid. The book knows that the Packers don't have their receivers. The book knows that Micah Parsons is like 1 week into training camp. The book knows all this. So why is Green Bay still favored at -2.5? Because they're at home and it's a divisional game and the Packers are supposed to be better. Could I be wrong in saying that, sure, the Lions getting 2.5 is a good number? Yeah, of course it's a good number. But that's what's scary about it, isn't it? Don't you think it's a little fishy that the Lions are catching 2.5 at a perfect teaser situation? Like, we talk about this all the time. Me, John Murray, Kelly in Vegas. We say all the time that when the book leaves you a 2.5, and we'll see how this goes on Friday, but if the book leaves you a 2.5 all week and doesn't move on a public side like the Lions, you should be scared. Typically, the book will not give you that teaser leg come the end of the week. 2.5 is the perfect teaser, right? 6-point teaser, get that through 7, 8.5. So when the book's giving you a 2.5, when a book's giving you the chance to get through 7 all week long, you should be very weary of those lines. Coming from the odds maker himself, John Murray, the head of Superbook in Las Vegas, he says whenever you see a 2.5 that long on a public side, you should be scared. And the lines are going to be very public. Jets teaser to go with the Atlanta 1 low total on the game. Thoughts on the Jets? I don't hate it. Little revenge spot there. Don't hate it. My problem with the Jets Steelers game is that I don't like betting on games with teams that we haven't seen before, if that makes sense. Like, I'm probably staying away from the Vikings the same way I want to stay away from the Steelers and the Jets, with revenge spots all over the place and quarterbacks we haven't really seen with their offenses. So it scares me. And there are certain ways that you could, like, when I see quarterbacks like that in a revenge spot, it's a low total because these offenses probably suck. Like, these offenses with new quarterbacks are going to not produce. It's not like their defenses are new. The defenses, these are two teams, the Steelers and the Jets, known for their defense. We don't know what the offense looks like. So that's why you're seeing the low total. So again, I don't have interest in taking a side in Steelers Jets. I see your reasoning for wanting to tease the 2.5, but I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could bet the Jets week 1. I think we're just setting ourselves up for wanting to just the same way I'm setting myself up for hating myself when I'm going to place that Ravens teaser at +1.5 to get them to +7.5. The same way I'm going to hate myself for that if the Ravens lose by 10 is the same way you're setting yourself up to hate yourself for betting on the Jets week 1. Let's just wait this one out a little bit. Wait this one out. Lions, Falcons, money line, Jags -3. Lions, Falcons, money line. I'm scared of the Lions with that line. I'm really scared of Detroit with this line here against Green Bay getting 2.5. Because I don't think that the Lions should be dogs in that game. The Lions have all their players back. Aiden Hutchinson's back. The Lions are more well-rounded than the Packers right now. The Packers receivers are all hurt. Micah Parsons is brand new to the team. So why are they -2.5? Yes, home field's -3. Sure. But still, then make this a 1.5. The Bills and the Ravens are 1.5. Why is Lions Packers not 1.5? Scares me. I like the Falcons. I like the Jags so far. And the Ravens in a teaser. Those would be all the reasons. I don't understand why the Vikings are favored over the Bears. Because the Bears suck. The Bears suck. I don't care that you've got Caleb Williams another year under his belt. The Bears suck. That line also was -1.5 last week. The total dropped to 43.5, by the way. Or excuse me, went up. Sorry. It was 43.5. It went up to 44.5. So, I think it was the Bears' run D was the worst in the league last year. I think. So if the Vikings can eat up clock against the Bears' bad run D, then that's something that you can also keep in mind, which is exactly why the Patriots upset the Bengals last year. Bears home first quarter team total under was a cash cow last season. It's good to know for anyone that wants to know. It's good to know. Bears home first quarter team total under was a cash cow. Yeah. That's funny. Okay, so I've got some NFL season long props that you guys could take a look at. I've mentioned these a few different times. Actually, Nico Collins is a new one. I just found that one today that I started to really like. But these are my probably top 3. And then there are a few others that I've mentioned throughout the week. Let me just tweet out right now that I am doing. Oh, God. What did Kelly say? We should plan a trip. You going to come to UMass this year? Why are we going to UMass? Who's asking if we're going to UMass this year? Why? I don't know. What's at UMass that would bring Kelly and I there? Gosh, I need people to start flying me out to these places. Let's do tweet. Talking NFL season-long player props now. Because, I mean, come on, let's be honest. Coach isn't coming on until at least 5:35. Are we? Let's also take a poll in the chat. Over under 5:30 for Coach. Is he going to tune in earlier? Or is he going to come in later? Over under 5:30. Told him 5:30. Season long props that a few of them that I like. Starting with Jalen Hurts over 3,200.5 passing yards. So when I was telling you guys about props.cash, which you guys know about the deal and the giveaway that I have going on with props.cash, because I really do use their site a ton. So if you are interested, nope, damn it. That was the wrong giveaway. Where is, did I delete it? No, I hope I didn't delete the giveaway graphic. I might have. I tried to clean up my homepage. Damn it. Okay, hold on. I could take a snapshot again. I think that's the wrong. Hold on. I always mess up the production of this thing. Okay, the giveaway. So remember this giveaway for props.cash, because if you do sign up for props.cash, you get the first month of football season 50% off. Oh my God, Coach is early. Guys, Coach just entered. Shit. We all took the over. God, that sucks. We all just started with a massive L on the day. There hasn't even been a pitch thrown in baseball and I already lost. We all had the over. I thought like 5:32. Coach is in the green room. God. And I was ready to talk NFL props. Now you guys are all going to have to wait till Coach is done. Then we'll talk NFL props. So until then, just remember this. We use a lot of props.cash around here, whether it's WNBA, Major League Baseball. They have NFL props up for not only just the season, but also game by game. Join props.cash using promo code PropQueen. You have to use promo code PropQueen. You get 50% off the first month of football season, making it like $9. You also will be eligible for a free jersey of your choice. I am choosing the winner. So if it's Shawn Michael that happens to win, then we'll send him a Mayberry jersey, because that's the only option he's going to get if he does win. But I'm just saying, tell your friends. Let me know if you've enrolled in props.cash. Try it out for the first month of football season for literally $9. And you also will get a chance to win a free jersey of your choice before we enter the season. It is 5:27, but because he is early, I am going to bring him on early, because that's the kind of reward that we are going to give. Here he is, the man, the myth, the legend. It is Coach James Young. Happy Tuesday.
What's up, bitches? I'm early.
I can't believe he's early.
See, what I did is I set myself to say I'm coming on air at like 5:20. So because I said I'm 10 minutes early, then I bought myself. I mean, technically, it took my computer a couple of minutes to start up. I was really ready coming on at like 5:21. So fuck all you guys that went against me.
Yeah, we all took the over, every single one of us. But it's okay. You're here. And the bottom line is we just want you here for winners anyway. I do wonder, do you do anything? Like, do you do any NFL stuff, or do you really just focus on basketball?
Well, not really allowed to talk about it, but on Sports Grid. But I know I watch the NFL. I'll be if you guys are around, I'll be at Jet Life Stadium this Sunday as the Jets. Although I saw that 75% of the money is on the Steelers -3. I am taking the 3-point sprinkle on the money line. I think the Jets beat Pittsburgh and they go over their win total of 5.5 wins.
You're a Jets fan, aren't you?
Absolutely. I'm paying fucking torture. Mets, Jets, Knicks. I mean, the last team I had in my lifetime that won a championship is hockey. And I only know the black guys that play on the Rangers, which I think it's none, because I think Keandre Miller got traded. So they have no black guys. So I don't even know if I watch them anymore.
I can't believe you're a Jets fan. God, you poor thing. Your poor daughters. Oh no.
Oh, they were everything. They were, listen, Ariel, I took my daughters to a Yankee game and a Met game. They all agreed that, sorry for Yankee fans, Citi Field is the nicer baseball stadium. They're Yankee fans.
Yeah, it's true.
My one daughter likes the Chiefs because she's fucking all about Taylor Swift. Jules, I don't know what she likes. They actually like ready? Shawn Michael. My one daughter, huge Indiana Fever fan. Huge. The other one, Dallas Wings. Caitlin Clark, Paige Beckers. So, there you go.
So one daughter listens to you and the other doesn't. So that's kind of the gist
And they don't know this. Next time I'm gonna see them is Thursday. I'll say it on there. Well, they won't see it. Well, maybe they will. I got them an autographed Brianna Stewart and then an autographed Paige Becker's birthday for their first day of school gift.
That's so awesome. Wait, kids get a first day of school gift?
Yeah. Get a beginning of the school year gift. You get an end of school year gift. Oh,
what?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm going to tell. See, my mom thinks it's ridiculous that women even get like a push present for delivering a baby. And I think that's way more worth it than sending your kid to school.
Oh, no. I mean, listen.
Going to school is like your job. You get a gift for it?
Yes. You never got an end of school year gift or beginning of school year gift?
It was called going to camp.
Oh, they get that
Being
too.
out of school in itself was the gift.
Listen,
AOD
Ariel,
says what's up.
I pay myself, nephew. I spend like 10 grand a year just on dance stuff. So me buying a jersey autograph for a couple $100, that's pocket change compared to what I
can't believe that that's a thing. Okay, let's make some money because clearly if I want to have kids one day, I need to make it. Let's start with your Fever team total over of 78.5. Why?
All right, so the Fever, if you really think about it, they've gone under 2 straight games, but the previous 7 games, Ariel, they've gone over this mark. I think this number is just too low. I think people are looking at how good the Phoenix Mercury have played. Now, if you really look at it, 6 of the last 8 games, the Fever have led over this, so 2 times have not. The Liberty, who are a hot mess, they give up 63, and the Valkyries. So to me, Indiana Fever, one thing they could do is they could score with or without Caitlin Clark. Give me over 78.5 for Indiana Fever tonight.
I love that the Golden State Valkyries are this great defensive team that nobody saw coming. We're closing in on playoff time, and I'm sure that they want to keep this momentum going. But you're saying that offensively, they're not going to put up points tonight?
No. Listen, if you really think about this, their team total is 77.5. They're just not a really good offensive team. And they slow the game down. 2 to 3 games they played against the Liberty, they've gone under this number. That was with Kayla Thornton, who was their best offensive player. The Liberty have led 4 of the last 5 games to go over, including that 80-63 loss versus the Connecticut Sun, versus the Phoenix Mercury. They just have to play better. And I think the Liberty are going to lean on this defense. I think this is going to be a really tight game. It could go either way, but the best thing I feel about is the Valkyries' ability to slow the game down and not want to run with New York and get up and down. Give me under 77.5 for the Valkyries.
Before we get to the prop, Shawn Michael wants to know if you're worried the Fever are missing like 3/4 of their team.
I still think they score. And listen, when you look at this team, they have capable scorers that can get the job done. I also feel like Phoenix is going to come back to the pack a little bit, particularly with their defense. And like I said, 63 points in New York Liberty, no Brianna Stewart. I think that may have been no Anescu as well. And they're just a hot mess. So I expect a better performance out of a team that can score in the Indiana Fever.
Okay, so no concern there. But the Liberty, we do have their center, Emma Meesman, who you like her over 4.5 rebounds tonight. She's getting Golden State. Again, good defensive team. Why is she going to grab boards?
Well, when you look at that game and you look at it, she's gone under 3 of the last 4 games. But, a team like Golden State is 7th in the WNBA in rebounds allowed. It's going to be a half-court game. And I still think they're going to keep bringing Stewie along, kind of slow here. So to me, when I look at it, that's why I look at that and think that lineup. So I'm going to go with Emma Meesman over 4.5 rebounds. But if I'm looking at someone to score a little bit in a game that's not going to be a high-scoring game, it's Jonquel Jones at over 1.5 made threes, over 5 out of the last 6 games, only played 1 time versus the Valkyries. She got 2 made threes that game. And if you look at the Valkyries are 10th in 3-pointers allowed, 3-pointers made allowed in the WNBA. I think she should be able to get to 2 of those tonight.
Ooh, okay. So made a graphic wrong. That's an oopsies by me. 1.3. It means 1.5, whatever. Jonquel Jones, that's interesting. So listen, you know me. I'm not like the biggest WNBA savant like you are, but for Jonquel Jones to be putting up the points and you're going rebounds on Emma Meesman, how come these two centers are so different?
Well, it's just a style of play. Emma Messman can play really anybody. You know, I'm waiting for if they're going to ever put Messman with Stewie and John Quell together, which would be wild because that's 6'5", 6'5", 6'6". John Quell obviously has the inside game, but the thing is if you're Sandy Bordello, okay, and you are playing a team like the Valkyries, right? And I'll pull up like their heights. You want to start to play chess with your roster, meaning go and use players where they could be more advantageous to you. Jonquel Jones at 6'6" can actually shoot the shit out of it. She can shoot it really, really well. And I just think when you look at that matchup, it may get clogged down in the paint. She goes to the outside. And because Stewie's shooting a career low from 3 this year. So maybe if you want to get Stewie going, she goes inside a little bit. Jonquel goes outside. And that's why I think she can be effective.
The WNBA is coming down to the last couple of weeks of the season before we hit the playoffs. Coach, how do you advise people betting the next couple of weeks of the WNBA?
Listen, every time I think I got this fucking league figured out, they throw a fucking curveball. Like, and it's just you could just go and just look at the games being played for the most part. Like, a team like the LA Sparks, like they are really a team that becomes extremely dangerous down the stretch. Now they are one game, they're tied in a loss column with Seattle, but they just won at Seattle last night. I think a lot of this is going to come down to, I'm sorry, Ariel, it's going to be matchups. It's going to be like who needs what for whom. So if you look at, like, for instance, the Minnesota Lynx, I do believe have clinched because 2 is Vegas and they won the season series. All right, so Minnesota's clinched the season, the overall number 1 seed, right? I would be looking at staying away from them down the stretch because if I'm Cheryl Reeve, yes, I want to get Nafisha Collier going, but she's already looked like she's going anyway. So I wouldn't be playing her a ton of games. So if you look at their next game is like Wednesday or is it Thursday? Let me pull it up here. They play the Aces on Thursday. What do the Lynx have to play for? Well, the Aces right now, if you look at the WNBA standings, they have 14 losses. Atlanta has 14 losses. Phoenix has 14 losses. The Liberty have 16 losses. So seeds 2 through 5 are separated by 4 games. 2 through 4, they basically have identical records. Phoenix is 1 game behind with 25 and 14. Look at teams that don't have a lot to play for and go from there. Now, here's a flip side. What's really cool and interesting, Ariel, is I was, obviously fading Chicago like crazy, right? Be careful fading Connecticut. Remember, folks, Connecticut's first round draft pick goes to Chicago because of the Marina Mabrey parade. There you go, Shawn Michael. There's your Marina Mabrey reference right there. There you go. So to me, I think that's things that you have to start looking at is matchups and how they come down the stretch, because I think that's going to that's going to do a lot in regards to the matchups. The other thing is we have to figure out, like, is Caitlin Clark coming back? They already said today, I think they said today, she still isn't doing contact in practice. Folks, that's not good. Like, that's not good. You need to ramp up in order to go. I think I would say she probably need a couple of practices against, like, where she's getting contact. So I say that she's got to be practicing like a week out before she starts playing. Guys, I think the last game in the WNBA is, I think it's a little over a week from now or 2 weeks from now. It's like right after September 11th is the last game of the WNBA. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, especially for a team like the Indiana Fever that are 21-19, and they are 1 game ahead of the loss column of Seattle, LA. So remember, LA right now sits as the 9th seed.
I'm looking at the board, Coach. championship winner, team to reach the finals, team to reach the semis. There's a big drop off from the Lynx at plus 115 to win it all, the Liberty at plus 280, and then the Aces are at plus 550. How much value is on this board?
There's value. There's value with the Aces because the Aces are playing. They won 12 in a row. I mean, granted, people are going to look at it and be like, oh, well, who have they played, right? The one game they're going to say they beat the Liberty. The Liberty won a second leg of a back-to-back. But if you look at the wins they had, Valkyries, Storm, Sun, Liberty, that's the one we talked about. The big win was the 86-83 win at the Mercury. Wings, Dream, they're playing good basketball. So I think there's an interesting thing. The other thing is I think a lot of it, Ariel, is going to come down to how teams end up. So these numbers they're going to fluctuate like crazy, right? The interesting thing is the Liberty to make the finals is at the second best odds, but they have the fifth best record. They don't even have home court first round.
That's what I'm confused about looking at the odds because
they're looking at the back of the jersey. They're looking at
but the Liberty statistically have been bad this year. Defensively, they can't rebound. They allow a lot of assists to opponents. Like there is a lot of issues and holes on this Liberty team. I know they're the reigning champs. They should not be as high on the board as I feel like maybe the Aces could have been.
Right. I think
the Mercury, the Dream, they all have better statistics than the Liberty.
Right. And I think the thing is that when people look at the Liberty, Ariel, I don't know if there were 9. Here's the thing. The Liberty are 24-16. I want to say they started the season either 9-0 or 10-0. And then Jonquil got hurt. And that's when the slide started. Then they get Messman. They got to work her in. Then Stewie gets hurt. They try to bring her back. Then Natasha Cloud missed some games. Aneskew's missed a couple of games. So they've gone back and forth. Why am I freezing?
I don't know. There you go.
Hey. Okay.
There you go.
Okay. I think you did hear me at least.
Yeah, I heard you.
So I think that's the thing is sometimes you see it, Ariel, like you see it, with a football team. Like some people just look at a team and the names on the back of the jerseys and you're like, oh, they're supposed to be this. The problem is the Liberty haven't been like this in 2 months. And I'm the biggest Liberty backer there is. I can't back this team right now. I got to go see them go play well. And the thing about the Liberty is their schedule the rest of the year, Ariel, I don't think is overly difficult. Because I remember last time we talked, I thought the only 2 big games they had left were Atlanta and I think Phoenix. And those games are done. So every game the Liberty has is easy peasy. So I think maybe that's the other reason why is maybe they think in the WNBA they're going to make a run. Liberty right now, let me pull it up. Remaining strength of schedule. They have the 11th easy schedule, 4 games left. Valkyries, they should win. Seattle, tricky. They've lost to Seattle earlier this year. Chicago, and then Washington. They should go 3-1 the rest of the way, at least.
Well, as Coach said it, if you want to go buy in, you could try to buy in on the Aces. There's other teams out there, not the New York Liberty and not the Minnesota Lynx, obviously, that you could find some value on. Thank you so much, Coach, for coming in on this WNBA Tuesday. We will talk to you again soon.
When is that going to be? Like Thursday? Hey, motherfuckers, take the under next time. See ya.
I had to let him mic drop there. I had to let Coach mic drop there. That was a good mic drop. I couldn't interfere with that. We've got NFL. Okay. I know, and we're going to get to Major League Baseball. We'll get to baseball. But I'm going to just finish this because remember, I use Prop.Cash. Remember, anyone tuning in, free giveaway. Join Props.Cash using promo code PropQueen. You get 50% off the first month of football season and a free giveaway of a potential chance at winning a free jersey of your choosing. So here are some of the props that I use Props.Cash for and also my own info, of course, and analysis. Jalen Hurts over 3,200.5 passing yards on the season really stood out to me. So this caught my eye because I was looking at Saquon Barkley's rushing yard prop. His rushing yard prop, Saquon, went from, obviously he had 2,005 rushing yards last year, and his prop is 1,425.5. If you're running back in Phillies, rushing yards prop drops that significantly, then where's where are they picking things up? They're picking things up in the passing game. The 2 years prior to Saquon Barkley joining the Eagles, Hurts went over this number. He had 3,701 passing yards in 22, 3,858 passing yards in 2023. He only threw for 2,900 passing yards last year, Jalen Hurts, and yet this prop is 3,200 and a half. We always like the shiny new toy, right? When you got a new toy for Christmas or Hanukkah or your birthday, the first thing you do is you run to play with the new shiny toy, which is exactly what the Eagles did last year with Saquon Barkley. But when you look at Saquon's trajectory over his career, he's now coming off a career-high season. He averages, in the seasons that Saquon even played 13 games, at minimum, if he played a minimum of 13 games, Saquon averaged 1,035 and a half rushing yards. So why are we running to the window on an over for Barkley? We're not. I know it was the Giants, but when you rush for career highs the year before, plus your injury history, they should start throwing the football more. And the numbers are telling you that. The prop is telling you that Jalen Hurts should throw the football more than he did last year. He's got a great receiving core. Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, tight end Dallas Goedert. Plenty of options for Jalen Hurts. So I like his over on passing yards. For Baltimore's running back, Derrick Henry, Marley's here. Everyone say hi. Marley wants to eat. I know. I'm sorry. 10 more minutes. For Derrick Henry, I'm taking the same approach as I did with Saquon, but I'm not going to bet the under on Saquon. I'm going to bet the under on Derrick Henry, his rushing yard prop at 1,375 and a half. Henry's number feels kind of low too, coming off 1,921 yard rushing season. He had the second most behind Saquon last year, but the Ravens have a loaded backfield. We're looking at Justice Hill, a healthy Kitten Mitchell. Remember, Mitchell tore his ACL, PCL, and hamstring in December of 23. He played 5 games last year, played in the preseason this year. And like I mentioned to you guys, and you heard here on the show, former ECU quarterback Holton Ahlers, who was Keaton Mitchell's quarterback at ECU, said that he just actually spoke to Mitchell, and Mitchell feels great. So if Mitchell feels great, Hill is healthy, and you still have a mobile quarterback in Lamar Jackson, who has a ton of weapons with Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, DeAndre Hopkins, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely. It's just too many options for the Ravens to go to. Derrick Henry under his rushing yards. And lastly, Houston's wide receiver, Nico Collins, over 6.5 receiving touchdowns. So according to Warren Sharp, when Collins was on the field last year, he was targeted in just over 28% of his routes, 33% of the team's targets, and he missed 5 games, but was still targeted 39% of the time in the red zone, 58% of the time in the end zone. If Collins didn't miss those 5 games, Warren Sharp says that he would have been top 5 for wide receiver and those rates in the end zone and the red zone over the entire season. The only other receivers out there for Houston, Christian Kirk, Dalton Schultz, and more so Schultz in the end zone as the tight end. But still, Collins is like surefire number 1. And the pass catching back in Joe Mixon is on the IR to start the year. Nick Chubb and Dameon Pierce are not threats in the passing game. So with Collins scoring 8 and 7 touchdowns last 2 seasons, I like him to go over again, 6.5 touchdowns for Nico Collins. So those are my NFL top 3 props right now. And I'm sure I'll get to a few different props for the NFL later on in the week. And we'll obviously talk props for Thursday. I'll bring up some early props tomorrow, potentially. Okay, so let's get to Major League Baseball. Of course, pitcher props. The only time we will bring up this name, Voldemort, is when we're fading him. Nick Lodolo, under 4.5 Ks, plus 110. Reds hosting the Blue Jays. Lodolo has hit this under in 2 of 3 matchups against low K rate lineups. Lefties are 13 and 20 over under their K prop, averaging 4 strikeouts to start against the Jays. 7 of the last 10 lefty starters to face the Jays since the All-Star break have gone under 4.5 Ks. So we're going under 4.5 strikeouts, Nick Lodolo. White Sox righty Davis Martin over 15.5 outs, plus 105. White Sox are out the Twins. So Martin's averaging 16.5 outs to start on the road this year. And the White Sox, they used 7 relievers yesterday, with 5 of them hitting at least 20 pitches. With starters averaging 16 to 17 outs a game anyway against Minnesota, it's a good spot for Martin to be left in the game as long as possible because of all the bullpen arms that they used yesterday. Houston's lefty Framber Valdez over 5.5 Ks. Yankees at the Astros tonight. I'm super pumped for that. At home, Valdez has punched out 6 or more batters in 7 of the last 10 games and facing a high K rate lineup against lefties. The Yankees are averaging about 5 strikeouts a game this year against Southpaws, which is on the higher end. In a meet-'em-go home game, low total, tired bullpen, Houston should get the most out of Valdez tonight and get at least 6 strikeouts. Yeah, but he's an ace, and the Yankees also strike out more against lefties than righties, so it's okay. Because here's the thing, the Yankees strike against them, but the Yankees are boom or bust. Either they're going to hit home runs or they're going to strike out. That's what happens. Okay, some hitter props. So I guess I'll start here with Colson Montgomery. Colson Montgomery has really good numbers this year when playing Minnesota. So he's on the White Sox, by the way. He's gone over in all 4 games against the Twins. If you want to ride the streak, he's crushing the Twins through 18 at-bats. He's hitting .389 against Minnesota with 4 home runs and 9 RBIs. He's averaging just over 2 hits, runs, and RBI on the road at night against right-handers, which is why he's gone over in 8 of the last 10 games. So you could look at Colson Montgomery tonight. You also want to ride another hot streak. Juan Soto is on an absolute tear. He's hitting .375 in the last 7 days, going over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBI in 8 of his last 10. In those last 10 games, Soto's averaging just under 4 hits, runs, and RBI. He's driven in 11 ribbies in his last 4 games as well. Soto's averaging 2.5 hits, runs, and RBI on the road this year against right-handers too. So you could look to Juan Soto over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBI. Julio Rodriguez, another name over hits, runs, and RBI. He's averaging just under 3 hits, runs, and RBI on the road at night against righties. The over has cashed in 7 of his last 10 and 14 of his last 20. So J-Rod tonight is a look as well. And one other pitcher who I actually gave out on MLB Tonight today. We pre-record the segment. I don't have the picture, I don't think, the graph. But you could look to Elliot Ramos, the Giants left fielder, under his 2.5 hits, runs, and RBI. It's -120. He's at Coors, which is why you're getting a 2.5. Ramos is hitting .219 at Coors through 9 games. He's hit the under in Coors 6 of the 9 games he's played there since last year, and he never went over against the lefty in Colorado. Under in 64% of games on the road against lefties overall this year. So Elliot Ramos, you can also do under his hits, runs, and RBI at Coors. Why don't I tweet out the MLB segments? Because they air at like 8 something, so everyone could just tune in here and get the same info. Like they tune. I pre-recorded at like 3:30, and it's not all the time. It's like twice a month. I do a preview twice a month for MLB Tonight, which they like throw somewhere in the 8 o'clock hour because I can only do the 8 o'clock games. Like they only let me do the games past 8, so it airs sometime after 8. Or sometimes after 7, I mean. I think somewhere in the 7 o'clock hour. So the 7 o'clock games already start. Anyway, it's too much for me to post it to social. So it airs sometime during MLB Tonight. I don't know when. But you can get all the information here. So why does it matter? Yeah, I have no clue when it ends. Or airs, I mean. I think that was it for today. We've got WNBA with Coach. So if you missed any WNBA, I'm going to be posting his segment. Or you could just rewatch the show. With Coach talking WNBA props and sides and totals for tonight. We went through a bunch of fishy lines in Major League or in NFL. Ooh, we could do that. We could go live on fishy lines. Let's see if there's any fishy lines in Major League Baseball today. I'm rerunning the stinger. Fishy lines. I'll share my screen again. Oopsies, hit the wrong button. Share my screen for fishy lines in Major League Baseball. Let's do it live. Joseph Rodriguez, we're doing it live. Fishy lines. We just did some in the NFL. So let's do some in Major League Baseball. Let's see if there's any fishy lines coming up. Can you guys see the screen? I guess I could zoom in a little bit more. Okay, that's better. Fishy lines. So, Mets, Tigers, that line stayed the same. Toronto, Cincinnati. Wow, that line moved. Oh, we have a pitching change. Crap. Lodolo's out tonight. Well, that sucks. So get rid of that under. So that doesn't count as a fishy line because it's a pitching change. Okay, forget about Lodolo. Dodgers, Pirates. The line moved a lot against the Dodgers. So the Pirates actually plus 156 last night is now plus 144 today. And you know the Dodgers are the public side. So definitely be careful of the Dodgers tonight. The only thing well, this game's earlier now. So the thing I always say about the Dodgers is there's always sharp groups that like to buy the Dodgers, or they'll buy the opposite side early and then come back on the Dodgers later to get a better price. So you always have to be careful of that. But we are like an hour out. So at this point, be careful of the Dodgers today. It's Kershaw. You never know with him and his age. And you've got a good pitcher on the mound for the Pirates. But I'm just saying, that line was Pirates plus 156, and now it's Pirates plus 144. So that's a 12-cent move in favor of Pittsburgh. Miami was in Washington. Washington was minus 118, now minus 124. 10 cent. Yeah, but again, he's probably due for some regression to the mean. So just be careful of, I'm just saying, be careful of the Dodgers tonight. Cleveland last night and the Red Sox. The Red Sox were minus 250 last night. Now they're minus 270. So steam on the Red Sox. Mariners, Rays. The Rays were minus 106. 6-cent move against them. Not enough for me to care, though. Atlanta and the Cubs. The Cubs were minus 172, minus 174. Not a big enough move there. White Sox, Twins. Twins were minus 144. That stayed the same. The Athletics and the Cards. The Cardinals, minus 106. Ooh, 10-cent move against the Cards. Severino on the mound for the Athletics. Michaelis on the mound for the Cards. So there was a 10-cent move. The Cards were minus 116 last night. Now they're minus 106. Athletics were minus 102 last night. Now they're minus 110. So that was a line flip. Cards were home favorites last night by 14 cents. And now the Cards are slight home dog. So definitely would be careful of the Athletics and the Cards game. So far, we're being the fishy line so far. The Dodgers and the Pirates, the Athletics and the Cards. Yankees, Astros. The Yankees were minus 118 last night, now minus 126. That's a little scary for my Framber Valdez play. The total also dropped. Or no, sorry, it's 7.5 and then dropped. It's the same. So yeah, the line move against the Astros, but those are going to be probably split tickets. I'll look, though. I'll double check the tickets. Giants were minus 240 last night. Now they're minus 230, but I don't like betting games at Coors, so we're staying away from that. The Orioles and Padres was the other one I have because they just announced, they haven't even announced the pitcher yet for Texas. Orioles and Padres, not much movement there. So let me just take a look at the DK splits real quick. Splits for tonight. We're almost at 6 o'clock, and I'll give you my Royal Locks. So 91% of action, 88%, 91% of handle, 81% of bets on the Dodgers. So again, big move against the Dodgers before. And then there was the Cardinals and Athletics game. Public's actually on the A's. So that's not fishy. I mean, it is a little, but like not really. I don't consider that a fishy line. So Dodgers is the only one so far. Actually, 77% of handles, 71% of bets on the Yankees. So steam is on the Yankees. So the fishy line of the day then would have to be the Dodgers. But that does scare me a little bit with the way sharp groups bet it. Maybe Dodgers team total under. Dodgers team total under? Something scary. I mean, that again, that Dodgers line's fishy. That it moved so much against them last night. So just be careful of that fishy line. All right. Last thing. You know what it is. It is time for Royal Locks. Royal Locks of the day. Davis Martin over 15.5 outs. I absolutely love this play because that bullpen is taxed. If you look at 7 pitchers being thrown last night and 5 of them went 20 or more pitches, you got to leave your starter in today. And Martin's averaging 16.5 outs to start on the road this year. Starters are averaging 16 to 17 outs anyway against Minnesota, so over 15.5 outs. Then Framber Valdez over 5.5 Ks. At home, he's punched out 6 or more batters in 7 of the last 10 games when against the high K rate team against lefties. The Yankees are averaging about 5 strikeouts a game this year against southpaws, but with that line move against Houston, it scares me a little bit. Davis Martin over 15.5 outs, probably my favorite. And then Valdez over 5.5 Ks is my next favorite. Now it's time for me to go feed this baby. So everyone make sure that you go and sign up for props.cash. Get a good discount. Marley, tell everyone you want to eat. You want to eat? You want to eat? Look at the camera. Tell everyone. You want to eat? You want to eat? Yeah? Okay. Time to go feed her. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Thanks for Coach and his WNBA props. Subscribe, like the YouTube page at Prop Queen Sports. It helps. Every like and subscription counts. So please go and do that. You could sign up for the propqueen.com newsletter as well. Sign up for props.cash. So many signups. It's football season, people. If you want to make your money, you got to put your money where your mouth is, and you got to go put some money down so that you can get some help, especially because I know you guys all work really real jobs. So make sure you keep tuning in. We'll give you the best edges that we possibly can for the NFL season. We are 2 days away. One more show without the NFL. Good luck tonight, everybody. See you tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern time.